My name's Pamela Smith. I'm an occupational therapy assistant. I've been practicing for a little over 11 years. Two things that always go hand in hand, occupational therapy and mental health. Whether you have a new diagnosis or been dealing with a chronic one, mental health always plays a part. As Jenny Stoffel, the AOTA president, once said, OT looks at what matters to you, not what's the matter with you. When you look at occupational therapy, we get you back into the occupation of living. Occupation does not mean just your 40-hour-a-week job. We're looking at all aspects. All aspects include your social life, that can be personal life, your religious, your cultural life. Anything you need to do, OT can be there to help you out with that. We work with all genders, all ages, whether that be from the newly diagnosed autistic child to the mother suffering from postpartum, the newly schizophrenic diagnosis person, elderly dementia. OT can be there to help with all those. Mental illness affects everything that you do in a day, whether that stops you from trying to get out of bed in the morning to not wanting to leave your house due to anxiety issues. OT can help you get those overcome. Mental health does not discriminate between age and gender. Though some diagnoses are more relevant in one gender than the other, does not mean that both genders cannot be affected. Once again, we work with kids and elderly, all ages, so therefore OT can be there to help whenever you're needed. Most people know at least one person with a mental illness, whether they have suffered from that themselves or they have a family member or a close friend. Not all mental illnesses are diagnosed as a long-term thing. Some come and go. If you're a new mom with postpartum depression, that can last 6 weeks to a year. Most of the time you've overcome it by then. AOTA, American Occupational Therapy Association. We've been around almost 99 years now with OT, so therefore our association is very active for us. AOTA has sponsored a bill. It's in the Senate at the moment. The Medical Health Reform Act of 2016. It's in the Senate, Senate Bill 2680. On this one, mental health at this current time does not allow OT to treat that with a diagnosis code. With this Medical Reform Act, OT would be able to do treatments and to help out where we're needed. Activities of daily living. The things that we take for granted, the getting dressed in the morning, being able to get out of bed and function, being able to fix food. How many times have you gotten up in the wintertime, it's gloomy, it's dark, nobody wants to get up and fix breakfast for the kids, but you have to. The getting out into the community, shopping for your daily needs. You have to be able to get out of your house in order to function properly and to keep a good balance in your life. Mental health makes things hard to focus. When you look at your life, everything has your little boundaries. You have your work life, you have your personal life, you have your social life. When you have a mental illness, all these things seem to kind of jumble together. It's hard to distinguish one from the other and where those lines are divided. It becomes hard to focus daily. Trying to remember that it's Monday, I have to get up and go to work. Wednesday, the kids have a school meeting. Friday, the trash has to go out. With mental illnesses, sometimes all that stuff can kind of jumble together. You forget that you have other responsibilities other than yourself. OT can help with this because we look at the mind, body, and soul. Not only can we do an exercise program, which is what many people think of when you think of a therapy session, we can look at what matters to you. How can we help you with your anxiety? What can we help you overcome? How can we help you relax? What recreational activities can we pull in just so that you can get better and get on with your life in a normal way? Mental health awareness. In an article by Mary Morley, she states, people with serious mental health problems have a high incidence of long-term conditions associated with physical disability. Many times people with dementia, they forget that they don't want to get out of bed. Depression, they don't want to get out of bed. Causes muscle fatigue, causes muscle lax, so therefore you do have to keep going. On this one, things to be aware of. Many people don't realize that, maybe mom needs help, or maybe my sister needs a little help. Just kind of be aware of things. Occupational therapists help you to regain what's meaningful in your life. In an article written by Lee and several others, they look at the model of human occupation. What matters to you? How can I help you get through? Hope. We give you hope that you can overcome this. Person driven, each person is different. It doesn't matter that you're young, you're old. We look at you, not just your diagnosis. There's many pathways. Not every pathway is the same for everybody. We're looking at holistic. What makes you you? How can we bring everything in? Peer support. Who's your best supporter? Is mom your best supporter, your sister, your cousin? Who is that toxic person that we need to keep out of the relationship for now till you get better? Relational, your cultural. Many people don't realize that, you know what, your culture plays a big part in you. Addressing the trauma that happened, the fall, the trigger that caused the episode to happen. Looking at your strengths and responsibilities. What makes you you? How can we help you get back to those strengths? Let's draw on them to make you better. And with respect, just because you have a diagnosis of a mental illness doesn't mean that you are that illness. How can you help? Contact your state senator, www.senate.gov. On this one, tell them to support the Mental Health Recovery Act of 2016. That way OT can get in there, we can make a difference in somebody's life. Occupational therapy, living life to its fullest. That's what we're all about. Thank you.